All right, good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm reading from the New Oxford Annotated Bible with the Apocrypha. All right. So I just wanted to jump into Second Esdras. That's where I'm at today. And this, I'm going to jump into the middle of chapter 7, which is a conversation between the Most High and Ezra. All right. So we're just going to jump right in, and I'll add my 2 cents, but the word's going to speak for itself. So this is Ezra speaking, starting at verse 45. I answered and said, O sovereign Lord, I said then and I say now, blessed are those who are alive and keep your commandments. But what of those for whom I prayed? For who among the living is there that has not sinned? Or who is there among mortals that has not transgressed your covenant? And I see the world to come will bring delight to few, but torments to many. For an evil heart has grown up in us, which has alienated us from God and has brought us into corruption in the ways of death, and has shown us the path of perdition and removed us far from life, and that not merely for a few, but for almost all who have been created. So what Ezra is saying is like pretty much everybody that's been created is at almost a disadvantage, if you will, because they have an evil heart and they have to get through this life that we're currently living and overcome that evil heart that, even though people have eyes and ears to see, that has kind of been hidden from them or not really, people don't think about that every day. They're more worried about the day-to-day of life, right? The work, the school, the job, the bills, the this, the that. They don't really have time, or I say we choose not to have time to reflect on why we really are all here. But once you start to give it some thought and you look around and you see why things are the way that they are, it very quickly comes into view why the government essentially keeps us focused and on the rat race as much as they do, because they don't want us to have this information. I'm going to continue. Verse 52. If you have just a few precious stones, will you add to them lead and clay? Reminds me of the Daniel iron and clay prophecy. I said, Lord, how could that be? And he said to me, not only that, but ask the earth, and she will tell you. Defer to her, and she will declare it to you. Say to her, you produce gold, silver, bronze, and also iron, lead, and clay. But silver is more abundant than gold, and bronze than silver, and iron than bronze, and lead than iron, and clay than lead. Judge therefore which things are precious and desirable, those that are abundant or those that are rare. All right, so the Most High is quizzing Ezra while also teaching him. He's saying which one is more valuable, the stuff that's everywhere, essentially in this case, all of humanity, or the few precious gems of humanity that are actively searching for truth and trying their darndest to live out that truth that they find, right? I believe the Most High is looking for those rare and precious gems, right? Continuing, I said, O sovereign Lord, what is plentiful is of less worth, for what is more rare is more precious. He answered me and said, consider within yourself what you have thought, for the person who has what is hard to get rejoices more than the person who has what is plentiful, right? And that's just true about human nature. When you give a poor person something that they never had before, they're the happiest person for a week, 2 weeks, whatever. You give a rich person, a lavish, expensive gift, and it's just another gift that sits on at the end of their driveway and collects dust or whatever. You understand? But basically, we're so much more grateful because we have gone without and we have struggled and we have to have the mindset to overcome, so that when we do overcome, we are going to be rejoicing with that much more fervor in the name of the Most High, over the glory of the Most High, right? All right, continuing. So also will be the judgment that I have promised. For I will rejoice over the few who will be saved, because it is they who have made my glory to prevail now, and through them my name has been honored. I will not grieve over the great number of those who perish. This is God talking. This is the Most High. This is Ahaya Ashe, Ahaya speaking. And he said, I will not grieve over the great number of those who perish, right? But when you get into Christianity, and, I'm not trying to be out here attacking Christianity, but kind of maybe I am. When you think about Christianity, they all think they're going to, quote unquote, heaven, right? But even Jesus Christ tells you that, the path is narrow and only a few will find it. So why are there 2.6 billion, 2.7 billion Christians on the earth right now? That should be a big clue that you might want to reconsider what's in front of you. The Bible itself even talks about, is there a lie in my right hand? I forget the scripture off the top of my head. You can Google it, and Google will tell you exactly where to go. But God tells you. He says, is there, people can't see what's right in front of them. And that's because there's witchcraft going on and things like that. So you kind of have to disconnect from the witchcraft first, truly repent to the Most High before he allows you to see what's really going on in the word, right? All right, let me continue. I will not grieve over the great number of those who perish, for it is they who are now like a mist and are similar to a flame and smoke. They are set on fire and burnt hotly and are extinguished. Sounds like hell. I replied and said, O earth, what have you brought forth? If the mind is made out of the dust like other created things, for it would have been better if the dust itself had not been born, so that the mind not have been made from it. Kind of reminds me of Job when Ezra's speaking like this. Kind of that woe is us mentality, but I can understand where he's coming from, truly. We're in a situation right now that it's not the best, but where there's faith and trust, true trust in the Most High, there is also hope, and that's where we put all of our faith, hope, and trust in the Most High. And we do that with our works. We do that with our actions. We do that with our life. I know in the New Testament, quote unquote, Paul tells us, faith, you don't live by your works or something to that extent. But essentially, yes, you do. We live by our faith is our works. Our faith is putting our money where our mouth is, right? It's you believe in the Most High so much, you're going to quit your job and you're going to rely on him to guide you and either have your bills paid or have them not paid. But either way, he's going to be glorified in that situation, because then you can say with a whole pure heart, yes, I did everything. I set this world aside completely and I stood on the word. When you can say that with your whole heart, you should have nothing to worry about. But now the mind grows with us, and therefore we are tormented because we perish and we know it. Let the human race lament, but let the wild animals of the field be glad. Let all who have been born lament, but let the cattle and the flocks rejoice. It is much better with them than with us, for they do not look for a judgment. They do not know of any torment or salvation promised to them after death. What does it profit us that we shall be preserved alive, but cruelly tormented? For all who have been born are entangled in iniquities, and are full of sins and burdened with transgressions. And if after death we were not to come into judgment, perhaps it would have been better for us. He answered me and said, when the Most High made the world and Adam and all who have come from him, he first prepared the judgment and things that pertain to the judgment. But now understand from your own words, for you have said that the mind grows with us. For this reason, therefore, those who live on earth shall be tormented, because though they had understanding, they committed iniquity. And though they received the commandments, they did not keep them. And though they obtained the law, they dealt unfaithfully with what they received. What then will they have to say in the judgment, or how will they answer in the last times? How long has the Most High been patient with those who inhabit the world, and not for their sake, but because of the times that he has foreordained? So basically, we got the law, we got the commandments, we got everything in the Torah. and we still reject it. Yes, there is some deception going on in this world, but once you start to, really point your heart at the Most High and start to walk in His ways, even if you start at the Jesus Christ and in the New Testament and all that stuff, He'll still pull you. If He knows you're being honest, know you're being truthful, and you're trying, He will pull you out of that strong delusion. He will give you, the full truth. And show you the treasures of hidden darkness, or the secrets hidden in the darkness. He'll give you all that, but you got to get your heart right. You can't be out here secretly hating on your brother, secretly hating on people, still watching all the TV shows, still going to the movies, going to concerts, giving your worship to other beings, giving your attention to things that aren't the Most High. That's what He wants. He wants our full focus and attention, and He'll work out the rest. But if you're cheating Him in any way, if you're, literally going directly against His word by participating in sun worship, which is Christianity, then yeah, He's not going to be messing with you like that. And you're not going to be protected in the last days, because you're not going to know what's going on, and you're not going to know where to go. And yes, there is a where to go. You have to be on His land. You won't know where His land is, or won't be able to accept where His land is, which is Nevada. Great Basin National Park is Jerusalem. Then, you're just going to think it's some crazy guy on the internet talking crazy. But this is where we are. This is where the Most High has led all of us. So His people need to be on His land in order to be protected. And I want to say that's in 2nd Baruch, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even chapter 30 or 39, somewhere in there. Anyway, continuing. 2nd Baruch, maybe 4 Baruch. I'm not sure. I can't keep it all straight. These are big books. I answered and said, if I have found favor in your sight, O Lord, show this to your servant, whether after death, as soon as every one of us yields up the soul, we shall be kept in rest until those times come when you will renew the creation, or whether we shall be tormented at once. So Ezra's asking, what's going to happen when we die? And the Most High answered, I'm not sure if this is the Most High actually, because it said something different down here. It might be an angel. He answered me and said, I will show you that also, but do not include yourself with those who have shown scorn, or number yourself among those who are tormented. For you have a treasure of works stored up, treasure of works. Here we go. For all the Christians out there that want to live by faith only. You have a treasure of works stored up with the Most High, but it will not be shown to you until the last times. Now concerning death, the teaching is, when the decisive decree has gone out from the Most High that a person shall die, as the spirit leaves the body to return again to Him who gave it, first of all, it adores the glory of the Most High. If it is one of those who have shown scorn and have not kept the way of the Most High, again, Christians, Muslims, people that don't really understand how we're supposed to be worshiping, and we're supposed to be worshiping as it's outlined in the Tanakh, the Old Testament. All the stuff that He gave in Exodus to Moses, in terms of the covenant, the 10 Commandments, specifically in Exodus 34. That's how He wants His worship, guys, for right now. Despising His law and hated those so much who fear God. Such spirits shall not enter into habitations, but shall immediately wander about in torments. Okay, so that's for those of us that die that weren't right with the Most High. Always grieving and sad in 7 ways. The first way, because they have scorned the law of the Most High. Scorned the law of the Most High. The law that, again, Christians would have you think that doesn't apply to them, making them a lawless religion. The second way, because they cannot make a good repentance so that they may live. The third way, that they shall see the reward laid up for those who have trusted the covenants of the Most High. The fourth way, that they shall consider a torment laid up for themselves in the last days. The fifth way, they shall see how the habitations of the others who are guarded by angels in profound quiet. The sixth way, they shall see some of them will cross over into torments. And the seventh way, which is worse than all the ways that have been mentioned, because they shall utterly waste away in confusion and be consumed with shame, and all wither with fear at seeing the glory of the Most High, in whose presence they sinned while they were alive, and in whose presence they are about to be judged in these last times. All right. And then just for quick reference, if you want to know what the glory of the Most High is, it's very, it's in Ezekiel 1, verse 28. That one I do remember. It describes it as like flames of fire, and outside of the flames of like flames of fire wrapped in a rainbow, essentially. Like that's the easiest way I can visually give it to you, but that's what it looks like to me. Anyway, I hope this helps you guys kind of get a little bit more urgency inside you. We're going to stop here, verse, maybe next time I go into something else, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. I read it this morning, and it, when you're reading stuff like this, it always makes you, knowing the times that we are in and what's going on in the world and reflecting on everything and just trying to gain understanding. It just kind of makes you, want to get on your knees and just talk. Just talk to the Father, right? Asking him for wisdom and understanding for yourself, also for his people, also for his will to be done, also for us to get our hearts right with him, right? Because again, at the end of the day, he just wants our hearts to be correct with each other and to be correct with him and to be walking in his ways always. It's not much. It's not a big ask. But when you have, iPhones and movie theaters and all of the things in this world, cars, jobs, vacations, houses, all those things, it's set up in a way where it takes our focus off where it should have been the whole time. Because none of this stuff is important. It'll all be destroyed literally in an instant. And we all did all of this living just to be destroyed in the end. So I hope this helps you guys kind of reframe things. All praise to Ahaya. See you guys later. Salah.